Shall I do it? I mean, it's been a couple videos at the very least since I last did my intro. Okay? Are you sitting down? Are you ready? Yeah? Hello everyone, my name is Lowko, and welcome back to a professional match of StarCraft 2. That did actually feel kind of good, although it's probably not particularly great for my voice. Anyways, today it's time for a Best-of-7 series. This is actually the grand finals of the Olimo League April monthly finals, is I believe what they call it. In case you're unfamiliar, I'll go ahead and post a link to their Patreon page down below in the description of this video. But basically, there's weekly tournaments, and then there's also a monthly finals where you get seeded into if you do well in the weeklies, if I understand correctly. But anyways, spawning here in the bottom left-hand corner of Beckett Industries, that's game number 1 in today's Best-of-7 series. Playing with the blue Terran SCVs, we have one of the strongest Terran players from South Korea, and his name is ByuN. His opponent in the opposite corner, already being a little bit adventurous right now with a probe, just to make sure he isn't getting proxied. Playing with the red Protoss probes, we have one of the highest ranked Protoss players from South Korea, and his name is Zest. Alright, so, Zest versus ByuN. I have absolutely no idea about this series. No one in particular recommended this one to me either, but I think we should just be in for a top-level game of Terran versus Protoss between two guys at, like, the tippity top of the skill level, right? From South Korea. So these guys, they will face off against each other regularly, and, I mean, at least judging by their names, right? And knowing how much they've achieved throughout their careers. I think we should be in for a very fun series, and I know a lot of you end up enjoying these videos quite a bit. So let's find out together. Mr. Zest, what are you doing, my man? Where are you going to put the next pylon? I think he's planning on building it right over here in the bottom right-hand corner of Beckett. So, Beckett Industries is a bit of a strange map. I mean, he needs to make it. 22 supply? Yep, there it is. Beckett Industries is a bit of a strange map because the units can arrive so ridiculously quickly. So, while the map itself isn't actually particularly small, I think the reason, for example, why ByuN is building the command center right now instead of the main base is just because of those speed-up circles. So, the map is quite big, actually. I mean, it's narrow, but it's long. Don't take that out of context. Anyways, it's narrow and it's long, okay? So basically what it means is that you can get across the map relatively short or relatively slowly if it wasn't for these like big speed up things that are set up in 3 key locations. It's gonna be a proxy Stargate, by the way, here for Zest. So it is gonna be an aggressive start, but probably not the one that ByuN is anticipating for. Anyways, let us see exactly what ends up going down here. Yeah, so I've noticed ByuN in general is not really opening up that many Reapers anymore, right? I don't really know exactly why. I still feel like Reapers are very good, right? Like, Reapers are one of those units where you only really want to make one per game, but you probably want to make one every single game just because it's really good. And obviously, when you open up with the Marine here, and you open up with the command center in the main base, it means that you should be safe, theoretically, against pretty much everything. ByuN has even started up the factory right here, right next to the mineral line, meaning that he's going to be able to just make a Widow Mine and then burrow it in a pretty scary position. The question is, will the Oracle be able to spot where that Widow Mine is going to be located? So there it is. Yeah, so I love this little move. I mean, you should do this every single one or in every single one of your games. The Protoss player literally cannot see that Widow Mine unless they tilt the screen like that, which they won't. Anyways, Zest, he's got to get into... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God. That's so bad. All right. Well, and there we go. This is now a significant advantage right here for ByuN, because obviously all of this was proxied, and actually Zest is doubling down right now as well, by adding on a gateway here too, just so you can do some speedy warp-ins, although this doesn't feel particularly close to the Terran's main base. Anyways, yeah, this is definitely a good situation for ByuN to be in. He didn't take any real risks in the early game, obviously, so it's not like he's ginormously ahead, but he is certainly feeling pretty nice. Although, this interception right here in the middle of the map of this medevac with 3 Widow Mines in it was quite nice. SCVs magically repairing that flying unit. Nobody knows how this works. It's one of the top 10 things that science just simply can't explain. Anyways, the follow-up right now from Zest. Okay, I think it's going to be some Blink shenanigans. He is going for the 3rd Nexus, so he definitely doesn't have to go all in or anything like that. But, yeah, in general, right, if you invest right here into the Stargate and then the Oracle and everything else, and you get absolutely nothing done, it's a bad situation to be in. It's not necessarily game losing right from the get-go, but it is certainly, yeah, scary, especially against someone of the caliber of ByuN. All right, probe right now, scouting around. Yeah, Zest doesn't know too much, right? Like, one of the reasons why that Oracle is important is not just because you want to keep track, or sorry, not just because you want to deal damage to your opponent's mineral line, but as I already spoiled, you also want to keep track of what your opponent is up to. And if you don't have revelations anymore, you can't really see what's going on. It's super hard to know how much eco the Terran right here is going for. So this could, for all that Zest knows right now, be a really quick third command center or anything along those lines, but it's the exact opposite, right? We just have additional unit production here, and it's just that Zest basically now needs to... He needs to play from slightly behind without a whole lot of info, meaning that either he cuts a corner... Actually, there's a Widow Mine drop right now inside of the main base, but... He either cuts a corner, right? Ooh. God, he keeps retargeting right here with the Widow Mines just to waste as much time as possible. But either he cuts a corner by not getting any defense out, or he, you know... just tries to be safe against everything, and when you're trying to be safe against everything, you usually lose the macro game. Because if you then play against someone who's playing a little bit greedier, obviously they're gonna get more stuff. So, long story short, if you weren't already convinced, losing that very first Oracle, not the situation you want to be in. Not just because you can't deal damage, but for multiple reasons. Okay, so one Phoenix over here. This is not ByuN going for a quick third command center. Oh my god, he does blink right here forward after lifting up that siege tank for just a bit. Phoenix right there soaks up one of the Widow Mine hits as well. There's no way this is enough. Alright, nice little bit of blink micro right there by Zest, right? But I'm looking at this. There's a bunker at the front. These Widow Mines are going to get another charge off. ByuN is even going to start up the third command center during all of this. Like, yeah, this is fine. The armor gateway's coming. Okay, bunker will end up going down as well. Stimpack and Combat Shield are not done just yet, but they're about to finish, right? Which is why I'm so hesitant about this Protoss push. The problem is, once these upgrades all finish up... Okay, yeah, Zest knows it as well. Once those upgrades finish up, ByuN hits a massive power spike. So he would finish up Stimpack, Combat Shield, and +1 infantry weapons. And he's already holding on without those upgrades. So, yeah. Game number 1 goes in favor of ByuN. Alrighty, so here we go. Game number 2, we find ourselves on Lightshade. And Mr. Zest once again sends out a probe very, very quickly. It's going to be a 12 pylon right here on the low ground. Okay. So, generally speaking, you make at least a probe, right? Before you plan down that pylon. Zest has decided to go for the fastest possible pylon on the low ground before even starting up a worker. We'll see what kind of aggression he's got in mind, because obviously this screams aggression. ByuN felt pretty safe in that previous game in general, I think. He didn't really... Yeah, he seemed in control of that one very, very easily. By the way, ByuN a couple of months ago ended up joining a new team actually in StarCraft 2 called Shopify Rebellion, which... Yeah, it's owned by Shopify, which you probably are familiar with. They're a big company. It's pretty awesome that one of those really big companies is getting into StarCraft 2 in 2021, right? I think that's pretty cool. Anyways, we'll see what kind of aggression Zest has in mind. This time around, though, ByuN is going to figure it out. And since ByuN is really good at the game, he will notice the timing right there of that gateway, and he will realize that something is out of the ordinary. Now, apparently, against this sort of thing, you go for the engineering bay block. I'm not entirely sure. Oh my god, he's just trying to build it as far as he can, right? Yeah. Do you go for the Zealot here with your Zest, or are you just gonna try and kill it right now with... He wants to continue building it. Yeah, so this is super annoying. Once again, this is ByuN just taking full control of the game. This is apparently a build where you want to go for a relatively quick Nexus on the low ground as well. However, if ByuN obviously builds an NG bay over there, you're gonna cancel it and you lose a lot of mining time. I mean, that only costs ByuN a little bit, right? Obviously, this SCV has lost some potential mining time as well, and it spent some time building over there, and obviously you cancel the thing as well, so eventually you lose some money there too, but I think this should be A-okay right now for our Terran player once more, who has decided to actually now go straight into the factory rather than a command center of his own. Alright. So, I think he has figured out that this is a very quick spawning... Or, sorry, very quick spawning pool. A Protoss spawning pool, there it is. He's figured out at this point that it is a very quick gateway right here from... I can't talk today, man. I'm stumbling over my words. Anyways, he's figured out it's a quick gateway, and therefore he needs, like, quick defense. There you go. Command center eventually, though, does start up. Sometimes it happens, man. Sometimes it happens where... Every once in a while when I record a video, I have to do like the first minute of the video like 17 times because for some reason I just can't talk. I've noticed most of the time that is, especially when I like record early in the morning. Ooh, that was a quick switcheroo. You wanted to block it right there with the shade. I noticed that it's usually, especially early in the morning, if I haven't done, you know, anything but like boot up my computer and drink some coffee and then record a video. Usually though, when I don't know, leave the house for a little bit, maybe go for a run, maybe go to the gym, maybe do any kind of workout and then like ease into the day. Usually those days, the recordings go a little bit better. Today is one of those days though. I mean, it's not like I'm stumbling over my words that much, but it does happen from time to time. Alrighty, so even though ByuN was kind of known for a long time as being this really, this spicy Terran player, right? Who's not afraid to go for a lot of cheeses. I feel like in the last couple of casts where I featured ByuN, he's playing more laid back. Maybe this is ByuN being so comfortable. Like for a while when he first returned out of the military, he obviously had to like prove it to himself, I guess, a little bit again as well. And he had to like play catch up to a lot of these, these other pro gamers. But it seems like he is very, very comfortable at this point to just play straight up defensive macro games, not really concerning himself too much with playing aggressively, and I guess it's fine. Maybe not as spicy to watch, but ByuN is looking really scary. I think ByuN is probably the most successful player that came back from the military, right? I'm trying to think of other people that have returned recently. He's looking dangerous for sure. Other than his wrists, like that's always a bit of a sad part when it comes to discussing ByuN's form. Like he's looking so good at StarCraft 2, but apparently he has had some wrist issues for quite some time right now. I haven't heard an update on that in a while. Okay, Widowmine drop coming in, but this is good though for our Protoss player, assuming he does not lose. Okay, there you go. This is a bit awkward. Oh my god, what? Okay, good control there. Hellions pop in as well at the front. Do you have any lifts left over? That was very dicey, but in the end, he just ends up losing one worker here. Nice control by Zest. Anyways, I haven't really heard an update on ByuN's wrists in a while, but it seems to always be the Terran players that run into some issues with their wrist health. Kinda sucks. I know Maru has had some issues as well, and MVP back in the day, I believe it was MVP who like infamously had so many wrist issues that at some point, I don't even know if this is an urban myth or if this is actually true, but I heard of this at some point, or I read about this at some point in an interview, that apparently he requested to play without headphones on because he couldn't like feel his fingertips, so he had to like hear them. Anyways, it's always the Terran players. I don't really know exactly why it is. If I were to hypothesize, I would say it's probably the Marine splits that are just incredibly unhealthy for your wrists. Never really heard of a Zerk or a Protoss player getting wrist issues. It's a bit strange. It's the same for StarCraft 1, it seems. Although I'm not as familiar with that scene. I know that a lot of the, like for example, Flash, right? Probably the most well-known StarCraft 1 pro. Who, by the way, also recently went to the military, which is... Anyways. Yeah, I know that he has had like multiple operations done on his arms just to like, you know, not have the wrists explode, which kind of sucks. Look at this, by the way. It's a little bit of an adept dance party right now on the map. This is just Zest making sure that there's no medevac slipping through the cracks, although interestingly enough, the most obvious location, I guess, for a Terran army to go through is right in the center, and that is not spotted. But ByuN is playing, yeah, much more defensively today, apparently. He's like, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to play super straight up. We'll see where it goes. Anyways, bit of a gateway explosion over here. So currently we are on 3 gateways in total. 6 more are coming up. Charge is coming up. +1 is coming up. We have the Templar Archives coming up as well. So if he wants to, ByuN is, or Zest is definitely going to be able to go for a bit of a push. Yeah. You can go for the glowy boys right over here. Get a couple High Templar. Okay. Yeah, getting a Raven here as well is really nice. I think now you kind of have to commit, right? I would not mind it at all if Zest decides to go for a push here shortly. I mean, the start base has been up for a long time. He hasn't really taken any damage. You can go for the War Prism as a follow-up and then just start pumping out the units on the other side. I mean, those Ravens are super annoying if you're a Protoss player, right? You really want to try and destroy those. He doesn't necessarily have to, though, but especially once Terran decides to start taking the third towards the low ground, I think it might be a good moment to go in for a bit of a push. Widow mines over here in the bush are spotted. Very nicely done. Couple Marines come stimming through as well, but Good splits here, man. Zest is looking really strong, actually. Zest obviously is always one of those guys who's been good for super long. He's had his ups and downs, but the guy is insane. I don't think you want to push here if you're ByuN. Yeah, Zest doesn't really need to get any aggression done here. He does go for the prism right now, so he can't always go for a push, but ooh, he decides to engage right now without the batteries. Not entirely sure if I agree with that move too much. Anyways, the Widowmines do get killed though, so I think it should be okay. Maybe this is Zest just posturing. I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful game so far here actually by Zest. He's playing ByuN like a fiddle. Right now he's catching up in that army supply as well. One more gateway goes down, which I definitely agree with. I mean, 9 gateways, like the problem is, there's nothing wrong with 9 gateways. It's just that it's an odd number. I'm a big fan of building, this is just, maybe this is just the Dutch in me coming out, okay? But I'm a big fan of building Protoss gateways in even numbers, okay? You gotta build them 2 at a time, everyone knows that. Unless you're doing a very specific timing attack, right? Like, for example, a 5-gate play and all that. Highly recommend building them in 2s. Anyways, Zealots right now all over the map. This is kind of forcing ByuN to apparently now engage since he's out with his army on the... Yeah, on the Protoss side of the map as well, but those force fields are making it very difficult. And I think that Zest is more than ready to even take a straight-up fight here as well. Reinforcing units, though, do come out of those barracks. I mean, can he engage this? Oh my god, well, apparently Zest thinks he can. He decides to charge forward right now with most of the Zealots. Bit of an awkward fight. A couple more of the units, though, do come in from the side as well. Phoenixes chasing down the Medivacs as they are making their way towards the high ground. These Protoss units, though, yeah, they're going to take some time to walk around, but the Terran can't really go that many places, right? There's so many Phoenixes available. Once again, he lifts up, goes towards the low ground, but this is Zest in firm control of the game, right? There it is. GG is cold, and Zest wins game number 2. Alrighty, so next up, we find ourselves on Oxide. And once again, is Zest just doing the exact same thing? Is 12 pylon the thing you do now? I haven't really looked at the details of Protoss versus Terran in a little while. But, 12 pylon? Really? Alright. I was curious, though, as to what the current ranking of these 2 players is, as far as, like, world ranking goes on Aligulek. So apparently, I mean, you gotta take this with a grain of salt, as always, right? I feel like I give you this disclaimer every single time that I discuss Aligulek in general. But apparently, ByuN is considered to be the number 9 on the planet on Aligulek. And Zest is considered to be the number 13. So the list is currently going to go as Clem, Serral, Raynor, Maru, Cure, Innovation, Trap, Stats, ByuN, Rogue, Solar, Dark, Zest. Yeah. Is that a fair list? I do think that those are probably the best players on the planet right now. There's players like TY as well, but TY actually recently, I believe, went to the military as well. Actually, when does Zest go to the military? I know Stats actually a couple days ago did his final live stream before going to the military. So if you're a Protoss fan, it's a bit of a rough year. Okay, he gets to kill on the SCV this time around. That's nice. So I believe all of the Koreans that are born in '92 have to do their military service this year at latest. Yeah, so Stats went a couple days ago, and he was born on May 15th. 1992. So basically he went like at the absolute latest possible time, it seems. When was Zest born? Zest was born on July 11th, 1992. Meaning that I think he's gonna have to go and do his military service very soon as well. So I believe it's like at this point like 18 months. And Stats did say that he probably will come back after completing his. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks. Anyways, yeah, so maybe you're only gonna have like 2 months remaining of Zest. At least it's for a little while. Innovation hasn't done his, but I think Innovation's born in '93. Yeah, so he's gonna have to do his next year. What about Cure? Did Zest maybe already... If you look at Liquipedia, actually... I'm still paying attention to the game as well. Yeah, no, if you look at Liquipedia, they've added a little statistic to the right of like the overview screen that says military service and whether or not it's fulfilled or pending. And for Zest, it's still pending, which means I believe he's gonna have to go pretty soon. Anyhow, ByuN obviously has already done his. That's actually kind of rough. Can I? Okay, hold up. I'm gonna just, now we're going down this now that I'm going down this rabbit hole. This game seems to be developing nicely, although no Stargate this time around. Twilight counts one Robo. If I look at like the current ranking of Protoss players, let me see. So current ranking of Protoss players worldwide would go Trap, Stats, Zest, Showtime, Parting, Zaun. Trap, Stats, Zest, Parting, and Zaun are all Korean. Trap is born in 94, so he's going to have to do his military service in like 2 years. Stats, as we already discussed, is doing his right now, and he just started. Zest will probably have to do his pretty soon. Parting also, actually. Wasn't Parting... I believe Parting... I don't know. I think he was, like, called to do his last year, even though he wasn't, like, at the maximum age yet. But I believe Parting got a delay for 1 year, meaning that I think he may very well have to start his up this year as well. And then Zaun is born in 97. Yeah, so as far as Korean Protosses go, we're going to have like... I'm a little concerned by the end of the year. We're just going to have Trap and Zaun. That's actually a little crazy when you think about it. Like, it means... Maybe if I can make a prediction, it means that we will probably have worse tournament results for Protoss players. And that may not necessarily be due to the fact that Protoss is doing poorly. It's just that there's not that many great Protoss players. Anyways, we have a triple barracks opener right here from ByuN, who's going for Combat Shield and Stimpack, whereas there's a Dark Shrine opener from our Protoss player. There's a Prism over here. I don't see a whole lot of detection for our Terran. This game's about to get wild, actually. Okay. He sees the little shimmer, so he knows he's going to have to scan. The problem is that these Dark Templar have brought a friend along as well, and this Prism can keep stuff alive for a very long time. DTs, though, can be used defensively just fine as well. Probe's already pulled away from the mineral line. He's going to have to warp in a couple of DTs at home, but I think that should be okay. Prism actually gets recalled, so he's not going to continue the harassment over there. I'm wondering if he actually needed that. I guess he's a little bit concerned here. Okay, scan goes down. Keeps at least some of those units alive. Well, I mean, what? What? Huh? I felt like Zest could defend this. So he recalls the Prism. Is that the correct move? I guess the missile turret over there is finishing up. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what those Dark Templar were doing, man. They were just derping around. ByuN kills literally everything. And even though there wasn't a whole lot of energy on those command centers, I guess there was just barely enough. Okay. Alright, I wasn't really paying attention very closely to that previous game because I was looking at Protoss birth years. Yeah, it is a little bit... Yeah, it is a little bit disappointing. I'm a little concerned we're gonna get... Ooh. I'm a little concerned we're gonna get into this really awkward rut where there's just not gonna be that many Protoss victories. Even though Protoss was underperforming for a couple years, actually, before the most recent buffs. It seems like Protoss is doing a little bit better these days, right? Making a lot more tournament finals and winning more premier events and all that. But I'm a little concerned that... Yeah, maybe it's gonna be rough. Anyways, we've got ourselves a couple of barracks going across the map. Maybe ByuN had heard, actually, what I said in the first casts, man, or the first games, rather, where, I talked about how he seems to be playing more macro focus. He's like, wait up, hold up. I've got myself 3 barracks in game number... What was it? Game number 3. And now in game number 4, I'm going to make 2 right at the very beginning of the game on the other side of the map. Now, Zest is scouting. He's going Nexus really quickly right here on the low ground. But he's not going to find those gateways. Nah, that probe is moving over to the left side of the map. I actually wonder what happens if you try... Like, this is a full wall, right? Meaning that I think if Zest grabs a probe and he right-clicks it over there, the probe will instinctively move around in that direction. I wonder if that would be a way of actually scouting a proxy. That would be kind of cool. Zest could theoretically know right now what's going on, although I don't think he realizes it. Nah. That's a very quick pylon once again on the other side of the map. Man, this can get awkward really quickly. There's, yeah, not a whole lot available here. He's gonna make a bunker? No, he doesn't even need to. Well, he starts up a bunker here anyway, but... builds it right next to the Nexus as well. I feel like you could just build it like a little bit further out so the opponent wouldn't be able to see. Anyways, Proxy Gateway is going up on the other side of the map, but I wonder if you don't actually want to have that gateway a little bit closer to home. Stalker comes up. Bunker goes up right over here in the main base as well. Yeah, ByuN's just saving up a couple Marines. Now keep in mind, this is only a double proxy, meaning that it's not going to be like a massive commitment from a Terran player. I mean, obviously he wants to get damage done here, but it's not like he's going completely all in. We normally see this build against Zerg, and for good reason. Yeah, maybe this is going to be fine. I mean, when he starts gunning down the Nexus over here, it does get a little bit more dicey. I think eventually you should be able to get it. The problem is, though, that there's not really going to be that much available at home. So Gateway finishes up on the other side of the map. It's just difficult right now for Zest to actually commit making units out of that gateway as well, right? I think he probably wants to treat it more as like a warp-in location once the warp gate upgrade eventually finishes up. But by that time, right, I'm pretty sure the Nexus is going to be gone. Battery is going to finish up here, which is nice. Obviously, those Stalkers can poke and prod here all they want. It's just that the SCVs are still available, and that's the Nexus gone. Alright. In the meantime, on the other side of the map, ByuN has built a factory. He's now going to go into a starport as well. Obviously, he doesn't have a second command center of his own here either, so it's not like he is... Well, he's in a dominating lead, don't get me wrong, but it's not like he is going to be able to walk away with the victory right here. Zest definitely still has some punching in him, though, because he's got, 3 gateways done. He's going to be able to warp in units on the other side of the map. It's just that normally you go up right now against a Terran player that has a bunker over here in a command center, and there's none of that going on, right? ByuN is starting up his own Cyclone. Alright, he's even lifting up one of the barracks over here just to try and get a little bit more vision. Okay, SCPs just barely will be able to keep that alive. At the same time, the Marines, pop into the main base as well. They're gonna try and target fire down a shield battery, but the other shield battery is being photon overcharged, or battery overcharged. I think eventually this will be held inside of the main base of the Protoss. And actually, this is looking, just like a good old one base versus one base. It's kind of hilarious after like 12 years of StarCraft, or 11 years, or whatever, right? StarCraft 2, that is. That we started with one base versus one base, and every once in a while we go back to these very intelligent one base versus one base games again as well. For a long time we didn't really see these kind of strategies very much. Oh, Jimmy, where are you going? Oh my god, Jimmy! Jimmy, no! Oh my god. Jimmy's got 2,000 atmospheres to float before he gets to the surface. Do things even float up when you're at 2,000 atmosphere? Because that pressure is insane, man. Pretty sure you just get crushed. I don't know how Jimmy was walking around there on the bottom of his ocean in the first place, to be fair, but anyways, actually it's not the bottom, as we dictated or determined already, right? There's a little bridge over there. Maybe they live in like a weird little bubble. Alright, so yeah, after this one base versus one base shenanigans, looks like we're starting up with expansions now. So Nexus is gonna finish up on the low ground. Command Center is gonna finish up on the high ground here for ByuN. Maybe we do have a bit of a macro game right now, actually. I don't really see either player being able to commit too much. I mean, Protoss is only just now going to start up an upgrade in the Twilight Council. It could go for a Prism and get some work done. But since, Terran right now is building up not a Medivac, he's building up a Raven, right? If he doesn't go for a Medivac, it's not like he's not going to be able to get that much stuff done. So Zest did spot right there the little tech lab as well. He saw that nothing was being researched inside of the tech lab, so he knows it's not going to be the cloaking upgrade. One Raven here. Obviously, this thing is great when it comes to, defending against Colossi and all these other Protoss units, even though we haven't really seen those that much in this particular series. Or at all. It also functions right here as the detector, right? So not only can you kill any... Well, that's why he's hanging out over here. You can kill any of those little observers that decide to poke and prod around your base, but you can also obviously use it as a detector against Dark Templar, which Zest has already shown a little bit of fondness for in this particular series. Okay. Yeah, so I think we're in a bit of a lull here. I don't really see either player committing to a whole lot. We have the Blink upgrade coming up here for Zest. He's got to add on a couple of gateways as well. Not too strange considering he's only been building off of a handful of gates. So this is going to bring the grand total up to 8. Which once again is an even number, so I approve. Highly recommend making them in 2s, okay? Please tell me I'm not crazy. That's a couple siege tanks. There's another one over there. I don't think you want to get into that little circle here. Seems like a bad spot. I'm just saying, Zest. I'm a hacker, man. I can see the entire map. I don't think you want to get into the radius there. Seems bad to me is what I'm getting at. Yeah, no way he's going to be able to get any damage done here. I mean, you can blink up into the main base and then get shelled at. Oh. That siege tank. It wants to fire. Couple depots, not bad, right? Better than nothing. Sometimes, though, getting a depot like that kind of puts you in a weird sense of accomplishment right now as a Protoss. And you're like, yeah, let's go, boys. Let's go kill them all. And you find out that there's a lot more Terran than those siege tanks. There's a lot of bio units over here as well. So he finished up the Stimpack upgrade. Combat shield is going to come up. +1 infantry weapons is going to finish up here as well. Plus, you don't really need to push right now if you're Zest anyway, right? So there's a Banshee over here. It's got 0 kills. It's been battered and bruised, apparently. In the pipe, 5x5. Wait, no, it's not the Banshee that says that. Doesn't matter. Wait, is it? What unit? Wait, hold up. In the pipe. Is that a 5x5? It's the medevac. Oh, it's the medevac. Okay, it's the medevac. Sorry, I was busy looking at Google. Apparently, it's kind of funny. Like, I've been playing this game for a long time, and sometimes those weird quotes, I don't even get them right. Anyways, as the medevac goes into the main base, the Prism also went on the other side of the map. Both players dealing, yeah, very small amounts of damage. But yeah, certain unit quotes, I don't even really know, even though I've been playing this game every single day pretty much, right? And I've played all 3 races extensively. Even though I've been playing this game for a long time, sometimes those unit quotes, for some reason, still do not really work out very well for me. I guess I mostly played Zerg, though. They don't really say that much. They just, you know, just guttural sounds. Kind of like Dutch. Okay, very nice. Does get the armory, the armor reduction right there on those Protoss units. Can you capitalize on it, though? Not really. Third CC has landed on the low ground as well, but it feels to me like ByuN wants to continue doing a little bit of damage over here. Anti-armor, though, is running out here. A couple of Zealots do charge to their deaths. ByuN right now on the retreat. Okay, I think that's going to cost him a siege tank, although nope, he's going to be able to pick those all up inside of those medevacs. That means that a few of the Marauders are going to have to pay for this with their lives instead. Stalkers blink forward, and right now the Zealots once again have the charge available as well. A lot of Terran units actually are moving forward as well. Big sandwich here coming up. A couple Protoss units being warped in on the other end of this battle as well. ByuN is losing a lot here, but so is Zest. Whew. Hello. Okay. Thought for a second that Immortal was being rallied into the Terran army, which happens even at the pro level from time to time. Obviously it shouldn't, but usually, especially with like the Robo facility, the Robo is a little bit rough because usually like rally an Observer there, right? And you rally an Observer there, and then you make an Immortal, and it like literally walks into the Terran base because you did forget to reset the rally point. It happens, okay, even to the pros, so don't feel too guilty. Couple Zealots once again trying to get some work done, but not too surprising that it's not really achieving too much. Interestingly enough, we see Zest very heavily focused right now on Immortals. So he's going to go up to 7 Immortals here. That is like more than he's got Zealots. Bit of an awkward unit composition, but I guess considering ByuN is so Marauder heavy, how many Marauders is he on? Yeah, he's got 16 right now. It makes a lot of sense. Those Immortals are going to be able to, yeah, eat their way right here through this army pretty easily. There's the Robo Bay finally coming up as well, so Zest could go for some Disruptors or some Colossi if he wants to. Can you fight this very easily if you're ByuN? That's so many Immortals. He's gonna go for Liberators here, which I do not mind at all. So Immortals deal bonus damage against Armored. Marauders here are Armored, so... yeah, I don't think you can really fight that. A lot of Zealots were sent for the run by as well, though ByuN is rallying reinforcements close to where those Zealots are too. They're just checking here if there's a 4th base already coming up. Does not seem to be the case. Probius, no! Okay, Probius! Woo! Probius. Very nice, dude. What a legend. Even though he had his blinders on there for a little bit, he just tilted his head far. No, Probius! He tilted his head. No! Don't you dare. Don't you dare. ByuN, have a heart! Whoa. Well, at least he went down, or he went out on a beautiful camera shot, if I can compliment myself like that. 27 Zealots available at this stage in the game, though. A lot of them are running around the back. They're actually using their charge right now on a couple Marauders, and that is not what you want here if you're Zest at all. Oh my god, this is so awkward! No, poor Zest. Ay, 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 ay. He had like half his army caught in Zealots, charging right there at freaking 3 Marauders. Oh, alright. Well, nice move there by ByuN, leaving a couple of those units behind, because obviously that's intended. But man, that's rough. Okay, so, match point number 1 for our Terran player. We find ourselves on Blackburn. This map is phenomenal for Terran. So, yeah, we'll see what ends up going down here. There's already an SCV moving out. Shall I have a quick look? Blackburn LE, Liquipedia. Last time I checked, this map was like 70% or so. No, a little bit less. 65% or so in favor of Terran. Right now, apparently, it has changed a little bit. Okay, so we've got a larger sample size. Right now, it's about 57% in favor of Terran, which actually is not too bad. Actually, was that Beckett Industries that I looked at last time? I'm not sure. Beckett Industries was also heavily in favor of Terran. It's not because of this, though. Anyways, ByuN is building his very first barracks in the natural of Zest. A little bit more pizzazz here from Mr. ByuN in these last couple games, and I like it. He's gonna go double gas here as a follow-up as well, so he's certainly planning on making something a little bit more tech-heavy, and I can't blame him. So Zest is gonna be forced. So there's this really annoying jump-up pad, right? So this jump-up pad over here is huge, but it's also covered by a slowing circle, meaning that Reapers that come in are... yeah, you can deal with them, but this, like, nuke in the Bane is kind of confusing anyway. Oh, okay, that's what Zest was doing. I thought he was gonna make, like, a full wall off. I actually kind of like this better, indeed, yeah. So he's making, like, a bit of a trap over here. I think this is... is this fully walled? I'm assuming it is. Ah, it doesn't look like it, actually. Well, I don't know. He probably knows better than me. Anyways. Zest did not see the barracks yet, by the way. So it's gonna, of course, produce a Reaper at this point. Factory is gonna be coming up as well. Zest has spotted that there is something lacking inside of the main base of the Terran player, but for all he knows, it could be built in a natural or, like, you know, anywhere out on the map. Probably doesn't expect, though, that it's going to be in his own natural expansion. This Nexus is going to be a while before it's done. Now, luckily here, we did see Zest already grabbing the second gas geyser, which I like a lot. Eventually, I think he should be able to clean all of this up, but the problem is, right, all you need, like, the only requirement to make a factory is having a barracks. It doesn't matter where you put the barracks, obviously, right? Like, you can just build the factory whenever you like. So, this is one of those units that's already doing quite well for itself. Obviously, ByuN is now going to have to float this thing back home, which is going to take a long time before he's going to start up any additional upgrades, but it's not like it's that big of a commitment right here from him. Instant tech lab here, not too surprising. Probably plans on going for a Cyclone. I'm not exactly sure how slowing zones work, by the way. Slowing zones are actually kind of funky, eh? Because you can see right there that obviously it just reduces the movement speed of the unit, but it also apparently removes the strength of the fires and the flames. I'm not sure. Does someone in the comment section know how lore work, or how like slowing circles work in the lore of the game. I'm assuming the Reaper's jump up pad, right, has got some level of thrust on it, meaning that it like can produce a certain amount of power, and if it then can't jump up towards, how can it then not actually fall back down? I'm not sure. Reapers are a crazy thing anyway, right? Do you know that Reapers actually never touch their feet on the ground? They always float, perpetually. Seems kind of fun. Also a little dangerous, but fun. Alright, anyways. Apparently the barracks, rather than floating it back home, he's going to start up another barracks at home right now instead. But he's scouting around. And he spotted here that it is going to be a Stargate opener once again here from Zest. A couple gateways go down as the barracks falls, okay? So the Oracle gets spotted and... yeah, I don't actually... oh, a couple minerals lost. I don't actually mind the idea... yeah, there's Widow Mines all over the map. I don't actually mind the idea right now for the Protoss player to just use that thing as like a scouting tool instead of dealing damage, because when Terran has got that much info, right, and that much headway or time, I guess, to defend. What? Is this an empty medevac drop again? ByuN's been doing a lot of empty medevac drops. Run the probes! Ah, didn't get him this time, ByuN. That's funny. Anyways, yeah, ByuN right there had obviously a lot of time to prepare for an Oracle, so doesn't really deal a lot of damage. What ByuN wanted to do right there is force the probes to be pulled away from the base. You could see right there that Zest had the probe selected. You could see the little blue outline, but they didn't run. Hey, Mule, can you repair that guy? Or girl. In the Medivac. Man, this map is so beautiful. There's a lot of cool things going around it, right? You can see the Vikings and stuff. I know there's some Vikings flying around in this area, too. Don't know if we're gonna see them. I think this is actually... oh, maybe they're the same Vikings. Yeah, there they are! Are these the same Vikings? They probably are. I think they're maybe actually circling around this section of the map below the plateau. Or, like, the platform. Huh. I'm not sure, though. Could be. Alright. I've actually seen some cool pushes as well by Terran players utilizing these slowing circles. So imagine like siege tanks over here. I know I've said this in a previous video, but imagine like siege tanks over in like the slowing circle here, and then like medevac drops over here on the high ground. It's incredibly difficult for the Protoss player to break. Or the Zerg player for that matter. Terran players too, actually. It's just difficult to break. A couple siege tanks over here, it's yeah, it's rough. It's the slowest of slow pushes, but it's so close to your base that you kind of have to deal with it. Like, most of the time, you can kind of ignore slow pushes for a while because, you know, they're not that close to your base, but the Marines obviously can start pushing in that direction very easily, and then the siege tanks are so nice. Anyways, look at that. Crazy thing happening in this particular game. We have splash damage. What? 6 additional gateways. How many gateways do we have? Okay, that makes it 8 in total, which means that I approve. Because it's an even number. You know what? Mr. Oracle over here gets a couple kills. Alright. Yeah, not bad at all. So 8 gateways in total, charged. And then we have the Widow Mines apparently also dealt with right now. There's one more. There's one more over here as well. Viking actually also lands. Okay, gets a couple kills here too. Widow Mine over there, shot. And actually 9 workers, 10 workers. Man, that's Viking. This Viking has got 9 kills on a Viking? That is a hero Viking, man. That guy was just mostly there to stop any warp prisms from coming in. Okay, this Oracle now also actually has got 7 kills. Oh my god. Is this... okay, this is what I was talking about. Oh, hell yeah. Thank you for making me look good, ByuN. I appreciate you, man. Even though this game was played like a week and a half or so ago. Maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. Thank you for making me look good, ByuN. Yeah, man. That's good. Thank you. Zealot's going in for the counterattack, though. This map has now been around for a little while, right? So, maybe Protoss players have got a better idea on how to deal with this. But this is super annoying. Reinforcing Terran units, I think, should be enough to get rid of all of this. Although the Ooh, the Oracle right now has got 10 kills. I think even though these Zealots will be cleaned up, our attention should be on this. Storm is actually available. I mean, Storm right over there, right? That would not be bad. Oh. Alright. Zealots can obviously go in for a kill towards the other side as well. Medevac gets killed. Okay. It's just that moving in here is very tricky. But I guess once the units are... Okay, he shows the Storm here. Oh, okay. Gets the Medevac over there. Feedback and Storm is apparently all you need to do. Zealots can come in from the back as well if they want to, though. But I like this Medevac and... sorry, that Widowmine setup. Okay, once again, couple units coming in. Reinforcements now floating across the map as well. Third CC starts up, but I don't think this is really the moment for it. Oh, God, the High Temp... Oh, my God. Wait, did the... Can I... I'm gonna back up. Did the High Templar just all get killed? Oh, no. Oh, the Sentry and 2 High Templar, right? Or, yeah, no, that's rough. Anyways, maybe these Zealots over on the other side of the map can get something done. Yeah, and this is the reason, right? Why, in general, this map is being vetoed by Protoss players. It's just that, like, in a best-of-7 series, since there are 7 maps that you can choose from, there's no vetoes. I'm actually surprised it took this long for this map to come up right now in a best-of-7 series. Okay, Zealots though come in from the back. Okay, I don't mind this at all, actually. You know what? Eventually, I think this will all be cleaned up. Yep. The Zealots over there, even though they're kind of slow, even though they have got their leg enhancement improvements and all that. Oh, Marauder in the front right there in the choke point. Beautiful moves right there by Mr. ByuN. ByuN always seems to be so, like, in control of battles. Like, whenever I cast a game of ByuN, I'm always wondering, like, oh my God, is the Protoss gonna walk all of their Zealots over a Widowmine? Right? But I never really have that problem with ByuN. I never really wonder if ByuN is gonna lose all of his units to one Disruptor hit. The guy's insane, man. Very good at, like, gauging these battles and making sure if he can actually take the fights and stuff. Seems to always get favorable trades. Most of the time, anyway. Where are we at right now with the resources lost? Yeah, see, this is what I mean. It's not even that there's been, like, one ginormous battle where, like, the Terran player was being significantly more cost efficient. It's just that all the little things over time add up. Anyways, obviously this is all based off of a Protoss player that's on 3 bases and a Terran player that's on 2, right? So it's not like Zest is in, like, an awful position here. I just want to defend Boy over ByuN for a little bit, okay? Just give me my moment. I need to post at least one ByuN video a week, and then I need to spend at least 5 minutes of said video fanboying. It's just kind of how it goes. I can't help it either, okay? The man's too fast. The man's too handsome. The micro is too good. I mean, I can keep going, but... Little bit of a skirmish here. Once again, man, I love these Zealot run bys. I feel like there's been a Zealot train all over the map. Every single one of these games. Medevac drop once again, getting a little bit of work done. Big drop, though, inside of the main base right now of the Protoss player, who decides to recall a couple of units over here as well. A couple of the Zealots are apparently... Oh, God, he's abusing the terrain right here, man. Look at that. That is so nice. The Protoss player has built his structures like that, and Zest is like... Or ByuN is like, yeah, sure, that works for me, dude. I'll just... park my units in the middle of it. If there's not any splash damage here, these Terran units can keep going for quite some time. A couple of the Medevacs, though, do get picked up on the way out. But once more, those little trades all go very nicely there for Zest. Or sorry, for ByuN, because Zest just lost like 20 Zealots. Because, you know, his own SimCity over here. I think that's probably the problem, man. Zest just hasn't played SimCity. He just didn't grow up playing SimCity. I don't know if that's a popular game over in Korea, but he probably played StarCraft 1. Let's be real. Yeah, he definitely played StarCraft 1, maybe a little bit of Warcraft 3, and then StarCraft 2 when it came out. I'm pretty sure. Maybe play some League, some Dota, right? Like, yeah, PUBG maybe? I don't know. Anyways, no SimCity is what I'm trying to get at. Here we go. ByuN's army right now, after all of those traits, is looking really nice. Now, I like this. Okay, good Storm. Problem is, though, that those High Templar are mostly just by themselves. And a couple of them will get killed here. Okay, they will storm at the very least on their way out, but it's not enough. And apparently just like that, ByuN wins this best-of-7 series against a top-level Protoss player with a 4-1 advantage. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. Also, I was looking at my analytics a couple of days ago, and it turns out less than half of you are actually subscribed to my channel. So if you enjoy it, and you would like to see more, hit that subscribe button so you get notified when future videos go live. You can even ring the little bell icon so you get like a push notification on your phone when my next upload is, which, spoiler alert, is going to be tomorrow. I try and upload Monday through Saturday, so at least, you know, usually I upload roughly 6 days or so a week. Anyways, if you're interested, hit the subscribe button. But for now, thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, and I'll see you once again in the next one.